Welcome to Google Applications, computer-based training. User management. Main page.
History of Google. Google Incorporated is an American public corporation earning revenue from advertising related to its Internet search, email, online mapping, office productivity, social networking, and video sharing services, as well as selling advertising-free versions of the same technologies. Google began as a research project in 1996 by Larry Page and Sergey Brin, who were both PhD students at Stanford University. They thought that a search engine that could analyze relationships between websites would produce better results than other search engines. They called their new creation Backrub because it checked the backlinks to estimate a site's importance. By the way, this method is still used today in the infamous Google rank page algorithm, which rates sites on a 1 to 10 basis based on backlinks and several other variables, such as site layout and keywords. Page and Brin would test their thesis as part of their studies at Stanford, and would later house their newly created engine at google.stanford.edu. The logo that they had then was much different from today's logo, and the name was changed on September 7, 1998, when Larry Page and Sergey Brin bought the domain google.com and officially changed the name to Google, a play on the word Google, the number 1 followed by 100 zeros. Perhaps this was because Google has endless sites indexed, almost 800 trillion, or has endless possibilities to expand, as it has into the Internet-dominating search engine and company. Today, Google is a public traded company that handles one of the most used search engines in the world, with a stock price that was originally the highest in its class. As of March 31, 2009, the company had 20,164 full-time employees and is based in Mountain View, California. It also has several other headquarters in places like Seattle, Washington. Eric Schmidt, the former CEO of Novell, is the new Google CEO. Google was recently named a verb by 2 major dictionaries, Merriam-Webster and Oxford. Its meaning defined as to use the Google search engine to obtain information on the Internet. Almost 60% of the market in search engine usage is controlled by Google, and most analysts expect this to increase. But don't expect this increase to come easy, as Microsoft and Ask.com compete with Windows Live Search and Ask Search. Google offers many innovative services, such as Blogger, Orkut, and Gmail. And since its introduction in 1996, it offers a wide variety of services, not just searching anymore. Isn't that interesting? All right. In the upcoming tutorial, you will learn how to perform a search in Google. How does Google work? Hi, folks. I hope everyone is eagerly waiting to know how Google works. Am I right? As you all know, Google began as a college research project in 1996 by Larry Page and Sergey Brin, who were both PhD students at Stanford University in California. All right. Every day, Google receives several 100 million queries through its various services. Google maintains a 57% share over the competing search engines Yahoo, which has 23.7%, Microsoft 10.3%, Ask 4.7%, and Time Warner, including AOL, 4.5%. When you query, Google returns web pages. These pages come from the surface web. However, there is an unreached portion of the web, and that portion is called the deep web. Google runs on a distributed network of thousands of low-cost computers and can therefore carry out fast parallel processing. Parallel processing is a method of computation in which many calculations can be performed simultaneously, significantly speeding up data processing. Google has three distinct parts, namely Googlebot, the indexer, and the query processor. Let's take a closer look at each part. When you enter your query, immediately the search engine would go to the Google database, which is called Query Processor. This compares your search query to the indexer that sorts every word on every page using Googlebot, which is a web crawler that finds and fetches web pages throughout the Internet and stores the resulting index of words in a huge database. This is how you're getting the results of your search. And one more interesting thing is, I got this information from Google search alone. Isn't that interesting? Now, I hope you all understand this and don't ever hesitate to do your college projects. What is Google Search and how to search in Google? A web search engine is a tool designed to search for information on the World Wide Web. The search results are usually presented in a list and are commonly called hits. The information may consist of web pages, images, information, and other types of files. There are a number of search engines, namely Google.com, Ask.com, Yahoo Search, alltheweb.com, and so on. Well, now you're going to see about Google.com. Google Search is a web search engine owned by Google Incorporated and is the most used search engine on the web. As I already told you, now we are going to see about Google. You know one interesting thing? We are going to search and get details about Google through Google itself. Doesn't this fact alone tell us how much Google has improved? Normally, when we run a Google search, we are asking Google to look for our search terms on any web page it has tracked. But the web can be sliced and diced in many ways, and Google has created a handful of alternative systems for helping us to find things. First of all, type google.com in the address bar, and then hit the Enter key on the keyboard. Now you can see the Google search interface appears. Good. For example, if you search anything in Google, let's put coffee into the search, and then hit the search button. In this search page, you can find a button named I am feeling lucky. Let's try this by yourself by putting in your search query and pressing this button. I hope you can now find the use of this button exactly. It searches the keyword you have given in the search box and opens the first result in the browser. Now go back and put coffee into the search, and then hit the search button, and it will show you a result like this. This is the result page. This is the title of the page. Generally, this comes from the title tag on the page. Google does not use the title tag 100% of the time. Occasionally, Google pulls the title from the anchor text of a link to that page or from the Open Directory Project, the ODP. The next one is snippet. This is the snippet. The snippet is the description for the page that appears beneath the title. Google may pull this from the page's meta description tag, but it may also use the description from the ODP or may pull contextually from the page based on the words in the query. Here, Google bolds the query word in the page snippet. This feature is very helpful, not only so searchers can zero in on how the result is relevant to their query, but also because in some cases, Google returns pages that include only synonyms of a query. Here you can find more site links. These site links are never the result of payment, and they're completely algorithmic. These are generally extracted from a site's home page, and Google may shorten link titles and make other changes to make the site links easy to scan. Isn't that simple? I hope you all understand and enjoy this concept. We'll learn about some other new topic in the upcoming tutorial. Basic operators in Google Search. In this lesson, we are going to discuss some of the operators which are useful in Google Search. We've all talked about searching a basic keyword in Google. Here, we're going to see some special characters in searching in Google. We can use square brackets to denote queries, so to be or not to be is an example of a query. To be or not to be are two examples of queries. Now we will see how to do phrase search. For this, we need to use double quotation. By putting double quotes around a set of words, we are telling Google to consider the exact words in that exact order without any changes. Next, if we want to search within a specific website, Google allows us to specify the search results must come from a given website. For example, if we want a detail of Windows 7 from Windows7Microsoft.com, this search will return pages about Windows 7, but only from Microsoft.com. Here we can also specify a whole class of sites. For example, usasite.gov will return results only from a .gov domain, and australiasite.au will return results only from Australia sites. We can also attach a minus sign immediately before the word. This indicates you do not want pages that contain this word to appear in your results. The minus sign should appear immediately before the word and should be preceded with a space. For example, in the query antivirus software, the minus sign is used as a hyphen and will not be interpreted as an exclusion symbol, whereas the query antivirus minus software will search for the words antivirus but exclude references to software. You can exclude as many words as you want by using the minus sign in front of all of them. The next one is the asterisk. The asterisk or wildcard. If we include the asterisk within a query, it tells Google to try to treat the star as a placeholder for any unknown terms and then find the best matches. For example, the search IBM asterisk will give us results about many IBM products. The next wild character is plus. Google employs synonyms automatically, so it finds pages that mention, for example, childcare for the query childcare with a space, or California history for the query CA history. But sometimes Google helps out a little too much and gives you a synonym when you don't really want it. By attaching a plus immediately before a word, remember, don't add a space after the plus, you are telling Google to match that word precisely as you typed it. Putting double quotes around the word will do the same thing. Google's default behavior is to consider all the words in a search. If you want to specifically allow either one of several words, you can use the OR operator. Note that you have to type OR in all caps. Now, I hope this lesson gives you some more ideas about Google search. In the upcoming lesson, we will see how to do advanced searches on Google.